Another thing that's funny, this was last night. You know what? I'm worth, I say I'm a billionaire, and people think I'm lying about that, but I'm not lying. And I want people to understand at home that I have an online educational platform called The Real World, where we teach people how to make money online. 18 modern wealth creation methods is $49 a month. It turns over, let's say, $14 million a month. At $14 million a month, that's 7 times multiplier, which is pretty standardized for a tech company. I have a $1 billion company, which I own 100% mine. I own it. So I'm a billionaire. And I was sitting at home with my brother last night, smoking a cigar, and we were playing Uno.
The little board game, isn't it? Yeah?
Uno, bro.
Yep, okay.
And it's serious, street rules. Bro, we don't take Uno lightly. So we're playing Uno. And Tristan said, when we were broke, we sat in Luton playing Uno. And now we're billionaires. We sit here playing Uno.
What's the difference?
Nothing changes.
Nothing changes.
Nothing changes. Because the best thing about life is going to be spending time with the people you care about and your brother. Okay, now I have better security. Cool, now I'm smoking a cigar. Yes, my house is nicer. But the fundamentals of my life are basically the same. If I have any spare time at all, I'll sit with my brother and we'll do something asinine. And a lot of people, especially these people who are getting rich, because they're not quality people and they don't have quality relationships, they don't have brotherhood. They don't have a network of people they can rely on. They don't have a woman who truly loves them. And they're going to try and buy it, and they're going to find out that can't be done. The best thing about my life, the reason I am so rich is not because I have money. It's because I have friends who I could give all my money to. And my girl. And say, I'll be see you in 10 years. You say, cool. And that's money. That's wealth. That's rich. Most people can't do that. These fucking nerds make a bunch of money. They can't trust anyone around them. They can't trust their chick. They can't trust their friends. They can't trust anything. Then what do you have? It's only money. And I think money is probably the third or fourth most important thing in the world. It is important, but above that is health and love and your network and people you care about. There's certainly things above money. And if you have all of those and then you get money, you can amplify it. But I think a lot of people don't understand that money's an amplifier. I said this often to people who ask me questions. I've had little nerds come up to me and go, I want to get rich. I was like, bro, you need to stop being a geek. Because if you get rich, you're going to be a fucking mega geek. You're a dork. Fix it. Fix it. I hope you don't get rich before you fix your problem, sir, because you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Because if you get rich in the state you're in, you're done, bro.
Yeah.
You're
done.
Going
to get fucked over one time.
You don't want that. You need to go and fix everything about yourself, and then maybe God will reward you. Maybe you're not rich because you're a little nerd, and he's tired of it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. I met you for 5 seconds. I don't want to talk to you anymore. So you need to understand these things and build a base of life and understand what's important, and then you get money and it allows you to amplify all of it.
Here's what I'm going to ask you, Tate, yeah? Would you say that the real world is one of, like, you know, the main income streams for yourself?
No, so I wouldn't say it's the main income stream. What I will say, first I'll say why it exists. I'm going to go conspiratorial again.
Go on. We love it.
Why not? I've sat in jail trying to analyze which power structures want me in jail. I've sat there and said, okay, why do they want me in jail? Well, the military-industrial complex wants me in jail because I tell kids not to join the army and not to go die in a foreign war for no reason, because every reason they tell you to go to war is a lie. So the army wants me in jail. And then I sat there and thought, okay, well, the feminists and the matriarchy want me in jail because I'm inspiring masculinity, which is resistance to their power. And where there's a power struggle, there's conflict, and they want me in jail because I tell men that they're allowed to have standards.
Yep.
I'm seen
You're
as a
allowed to be a
misogynist.
man.
Yeah, I'm seen as a misogynist because I effectively say as a man, you're allowed to have a standard. Yep. You're allowed to say to a woman, no, you're not supposed to speak to me that way. I'm a full-grown adult and I want to be respected in my household. That makes me a bad person. So that's why the matriarchy wants me in jail. And then I sit and say, what other powerful structures want me in jail? Well, maybe the educational platforms want me in jail. Maybe the education system wants me in jail because that's the biggest scam of them all. The biggest scam of them all is the modern education system. And I can prove to you it's a scam, and they know it's a scam because it has to operate inside of a vacuum. If it wasn't a scam, they would allow people to take out a loan and decide what they spend it on. Do you want to start a business? Do you want to buy crypto? Do you want to buy a house? Do you want to buy a car? Do you want to get a degree?
Yep.
No. You can only get a degree with the loan because if they give you any choice, no one will pick a degree because they know it's useless, because it's out-of-date information that takes too long to teach, and you get massively in debt. Think how fast the world moves. Think of things that are relevant now that weren't relevant 3 weeks ago. And you're learning things in a degree that were from 20 years ago, and it takes you 4 years to learn.
That's going to be completely irrelevant by that point.
Bro, Christmas feels like a lifetime ago. It's been a month. And you're going to sit and go to school for 4 years and learn things from 1996 and think that piece of paper is worth anything?
Yeah, it's not.
The whole thing's a scam, and they know it's a scam. So I sit there and go, well, why would the educational systems want me in jail? Yeah, I say it's a scam. But also maybe it's because I own university.com, www.university.com, and I have an online educational platform, which is the largest school on the planet. And we're teaching financial literacy, and it costs $49 a month, less than a Nando's, and we'll teach kids how to make money online, and they won't go to the school anymore. So I'm like, okay, so the educational system wants me in jail, the matriarchy wants me in jail, the military-industrial complex wants me in jail. Can't wait to go to court. I'm sure it's going to be a fair trial. Can't wait. I'm going to walk.
Here's where I was going with it, though, yeah? I'll be real, Tate. I can't even post this podcast on TikTok. Because my last TikTok account got banned. It wasn't even clips of you. It was me and the guest speaking about you. And TikTok was like, no, harmful content, take it down. And we were literally just saying you're a nice guy. So I can't even post this on TikTok. And I know one of the reasons for your meteoric rise was to do with the fact that TikTok was getting flooded with Andrew Tate content, literally top G everywhere. But now that's not the case. So how do you actually keep people coming back to the real world, which was once obviously Hustle University, right? How do you get people coming back and, making sure they know that we are still here?
Yeah, so TikTok have gone, so have Meta, so have Instagram, so have Facebook. I'm banned everywhere, right? And you're right. They don't like people saying anything nice about me. They don't like my voice. They don't like a still picture of me, nothing.
Literally
it's crazy.
Nothing,
All I do is I make it obvious to people that the platform exists. And to further go down the rabbit hole of why that platform does exist, it's not for me to make money. I can resign now. I can retire now for the rest of my life if I wanted to live semi-sensibly. If I stopped buying 3 cars a week, I could probably still do that for a good 10 years. But, I could calm down and live a very nice life. The reason I have the real world is the same reason I have the war room. Because when I talk about all the problems I talk about, the astute members of the populace will say to me, okay, then what's the solution? Andrew, you're right. You're right. The legal system's a joke. They're out to keep us all enslaved. We're not allowed to have an opinion as a man. We live in a matriarchy. My job hates me. What's the answer? And I'm a little bit disappointed in myself that I've only come up with 2 answers so far, but they're the only answers that have ever worked for me. And perhaps there's another answer that's better than the ones I have. But the only answers I can come up with, in fact, 3 answers, I apologize. There's one, God. You need God. That's the most important thing. The second is you need money. And the third is that you need brotherhood. And I believe if you have those 3 things, you become much harder to be damaged by the system. When I go to jail, I can call my brother and make sure that my women and my children are taken care of. I can have someone to look after them. I have a bunch of money so they can be taken care of. I can get the best lawyers. I have influence. So when they lie about me on the BBC, I can tweet and call them a liar and get more views than the BBC does.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
More views than the BBC. Andrew Tate, this. I can just say, lie, fake news, boom, done. So I can fight against them. Well, how do I fight against them? I fight against them with my influence, which is based on my brotherhood and the people I work with inside the war room and the money I have, and God. So when I created the real world, the primary objective is for people to learn how to make money online so they can escape the matrix. Because if you have a job, you're going to be controlled. If you have a job, you can't have an opinion anymore. You can't talk. You can't say certain things online, you will lose your job. You can't not get the vaccine, you'll lose your job. You can't not wear a mask, you'll lose your job. You have to obey, you have to comply, or you can't pay the mortgage. If you make money for yourself online, you're now harder to control. So when they come along with their infantile ideas and try and force you to perpetuate and purport them, you can sit and say, no, I'm making my own money, you're a liar. So that's the reason I made the real world, and that's the reason I made it so cheap, $49 a month, so people can join and learn how to make money online. And the reason there's the war room is because of brotherhood, because I believe that if you analyze any period of human history, including Genghis Khan, as we just discussed, it's always been about brothers. What was Genghis Khan? It was a bunch of his boys, bunch of your boys, get on a horse.
And just conquering.
Yeah,
literally.
bro.
Yeah,
we still do it.
Yeah.
You and your boys, you all get together, you go to the
out in the
club, you get
cars,
some girls, it's the same.
Yeah.
Everyone gets on a horse. Let's ride that way. What's over there? Don't know. Who cares?
We'll find out. We'll take it.
Yeah. So brotherhood has always been what conquest is about. And it's also always been a small band of brothers to resist evil. Let's say when Genghis Khan got to Vienna. I'm not going to discuss who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. It's just the natural law of the universe that conflict appears. But the people who were defending Vienna were what? Brothers. Brotherhood. Get your sword. Who are they? let's go. So if you're in a war, and I believe we are, and I think anyone who's looking at life as anything other than war can't be competitive and is destined to be decimated. If you understand you're in a war, then you need brotherhood and you need money. What does Ukraine keep asking for? Money. You need money to fight, and you need men you can count on, which is why I have the real world that teaches people how to make money online, and the war rooms you can join a fraternity.
You have the men.
That's right, because I believe if you start to make a bunch of money and you get a bunch of men you can rely on, you then become much harder to enslave. That's the reason those two things exist at CobraTate.com, and that's the reason I tell people to join them. And it's not because I'm philanthropic. I want to make it clear. I know the world thinks I'm the nicest man ever. But they don't think that. I'm just going to say it. But it's not because I'm philanthropic. I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm trying to help you guys at home. No. If you're a broke loser, you can stay a broke loser. That's completely fine by me. My cars need washing. You can wash them. Don't care. But I don't care. I don't care. But if I'm going to try and crack the matrix, I can't do it by myself. So I want all of the people who agree with what I say and think like I think
Crack the matrix together.
to be rich. Andrew, you have 1,000 fans. Do you want poor fans or rich fans? I want rich fans.
Rich fans, yeah, of course.
Andrew, you have 1,000 fans. Do you want them to all know each other and be part of a brotherhood and be part of a fraternity, or do you want them to be independent and isolated?
Know each other.
To know each other.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I'm raising an army. I'm Genghis Khan. Get on the horse, guys. Get on the horse.
Let's go.
We're going to fight. And you can join, and I'll make your life better by extension. That's one of the greatest things about my brand. I think it's probably one of the reasons I have no problem with the fact they're going to throw me in jail, etc. Because I know I'm living for a purpose. I know that, just like you said earlier on this podcast, if you're an Andrew Tate fan, your life improves. And that's a good feeling. If you're a fan of a normal streamer, your life doesn't improve. If you're a fan of Logan Paul or KSI or these idiots, well, then what do? You get sugary drinks and WWF. Great. You don't get anything. I know that if you're a fan of me, your life genuinely improves. And in the karmic circle of the universe, all of that positive energy will end up back with me. There's no way you can take thousands, perhaps millions of people and make them feel more dedicated, more motivated, more happy, more positive, more inspirational. You can do all of those things and not benefit from it in some way, whether they put me in jail or not. There's good vibes in the universe. I'll pick them up. It's fine. And I'll walk out, tell the BBC, hello, speak to Lucy. No big problem. So I'm very proud of myself because I know I'm doing the right thing. And that's the reason I refuse to shut up. Because if I was only entertaining people, I could shut up. Okay, there's no point going to jail to make people laugh. No, but there is a point in going to jail to make so many people's lives better. So as a professional, to go back to why the real world exists and how I get people to go there, I don't try and sell it to anyone. That's actually a really good point. It's a good question you asked me.
Because I'm just trying to see.
No, but it's a good question because if I am a billionaire and I am obviously monumentally financially successful, and I've just explained to people at home why I want them to join, because I want them to be rich. I have a vested interest in them being rich. Your university professor does not have a vested personal interest in you becoming rich. He doesn't care. He's doing a job. I have a vested personal interest in trying to make my fans as rich as possible. Never else in your life is a billionaire going to care about making you money, ever. Only now. It costs less than a Nando's. It's $49 a month. If you still don't join, well, then you're a dumbass. And I don't want you to join anyway. So I've mentioned it enough times, I feel. And I also feel like now I'm at a point where I'm above getting people to join. It exists. And if you're not a loser, you'll join because you want to save your life. And if you don't want to save your life, you want to stay a slave, you can go stay a slave.
But I'm trying to come at it at a point where, for example, you were once the most Googled man on the whole of the earth.
Yeah.
Right? And all these things, the TikTok clips, the podcast, everything, Instagram accounts, Twitter, whatever you name it, they were all a big funneling system for that.
Yeah.
And now where there's the cases, these platforms have banned you, apart from Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
It's like, how can you get back to being that most famous man, the most Googled man on the earth?
I don't know if I need to be anymore because, unfortunately, the idiot who made that documentary was incorrect. I'm not chasing fame. I'm doing what I believe to be right. I'm going to speak to the people I want to speak to. I wanted to see you. That's why we're doing this podcast. I get 10 podcast requests a day. I don't do them because I need to do them or I want to do this one. So I'm doing it. It's fun. And the people who join the real world who want to be freed from the matrix will join. If nobody joins, that's fine. I don't need the money. We have over 200,000 students anyway. I mean, I know what you're saying. I don't wake up and think, how do I get views? I don't care anymore. I wake up I do what I'm supposed to do. I train hard. I see my children. I work. I make a bunch of money. If I have a platform to speak on, I'm going to tell the truth. If I tweet something, it's going to be the truth. And God will do the rest. And it is what it is. And the only reason these things exist are to help the people at home be valuable fans of mine. And I think that's an important point in terms of fans. I want to have valuable fans. If I'm going to raise an army, I want men who can fight.
Yeah, you don't want brokies.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, if you're going to raise an army, do you want wages? Do you want a bunch of men who can't fight? No, you want men who can fight. So if you're going to join my army, you need to be able to train, work hard, and be able to fight. I don't want to go to war with a bunch of idiots. So if you're sitting at home and you're working at McDonald's and you can't escape the rat race, you're not much good to me. So then why are you watching my stuff? Why would you sit here and watch me speak for hours
and then do fuck all about
and
it?
And then not go and join the school and get rich? Like, you must be out your mind. But there are people who do this, and there are some people who you just can't help. There is a huge percentage of the populace which